Every morning, millions of seniors reach for a handful of supplements: vitamin C, creatine, turmeric, protein powder, detox tea. And they genuinely believe with all their heart that these are helping them because the label says natural, because a friend recommended it, because it worked for someone on TV. But inside a nephrologist's office, the story looks very different because some of these supplements are quietly eroding kidney function year after year without a single symptom, without a single warning. I'm Grace Wells. I'm a kidney and diabetes health educator, and I've spent years working with older adults navigating exactly this kind of confusion. And today I want to talk about something that comes up in clinic conversations constantly, but almost never makes it to camera. Because people are taking these supplements on their own. No prescription, no guidance. Just a bottle from the shelf, a glass of water, and the best of intentions. But here's what changes after 60. Your kidneys are no longer what they were at 30. Their filtering capacity has naturally declined. Their tolerance for certain compounds has narrowed. And that gap between what feels safe and what actually is becomes genuinely dangerous. I'm going to walk you through 5 supplements today. For each one, I'll tell you exactly what happens inside the kidney, what the safe dose boundary looks like, and how to check where you stand. Because this isn't about fear, it's about knowing, and if you stay with me through all 5, I want you to leave this video with one very specific action you can take before your next doctor's appointment. Let's get into it. The first one is something almost everyone knows and trusts: vitamin C. And I want to be clear right away. Vitamin C is not the enemy. It's a real antioxidant. It genuinely supports immune function. It has legitimate value. But the problem isn't the vitamin. The problem is the dose. Walk into any pharmacy and you'll see bottles labeled 1,000 milligrams. Some brands push 2,000 milligrams a day. They're cheap, they're easy to find, they look completely harmless. Here's what I want to ask you right now. If you're taking vitamin C today, do you actually know the dose on your bottle? Because that answer matters more than you might think. When older kidneys process high-dose vitamin C, they produce a byproduct called oxalate. And when oxalate accumulates, it dramatically increases the risk of kidney stones. Sometimes those stones stay silent, sometimes they obstruct the kidney. And in people who already have chronic kidney disease, even mild, early-stage disease they don't know about yet, this process moves much faster. What does the research say? 500 milligrams per day and under is generally considered safe for most adults. But the standard tablet in most supplement bottles is already 1,000 milligrams. So someone saying, "I just take one a day," may be sitting at double the recommended boundary, every single day for years. This is one of those things where I genuinely want you to pause and check the bottle you have at home. Not because I want you to throw it away, but because on day 16, when we go deep into specific vitamins, I want you to already know your number. For now, write this down somewhere. Natural does not mean safe at every dose. That is the lesson vitamin C teaches us. And it applies to everything that follows. The second supplement is one that showed up in this age group more recently: creatine. It used to live entirely in the gym world. Young athletes, bodybuilders, protein shakes. But over the last several years, the narrative shifted. Creatine started being recommended for older adults to preserve muscle mass, improve strength, reduce fall risk. And look, those studies exist. The intention isn't wrong, but there's a problem that most people taking creatine don't know about. When creatine is metabolized in the body, it produces creatinine. And creatinine is one of the primary markers we use to measure kidney function. Think about what that means. Your doctor looks at your blood work. Creatinine is elevated. They say, "I'm concerned about your kidneys. Let's investigate further." But your creatinine is elevated because you're taking creatine supplements, not because your kidneys are failing. Now, is that false alarm dangerous? Yes, genuinely dangerous, because it leads to unnecessary follow-up tests, sometimes unnecessary treatments, or worse, the opposite happens. A real kidney issue gets dismissed because the doctor assumes the elevated creatinine is just the supplement. Both outcomes cause harm. If you want to take creatine, it isn't automatically off the table. But it requires a nephrologist's baseline assessment first. And while you're on it, regular kidney function monitoring is not optional. It's essential. Staying silent about a supplement you're taking is one of the most costly things you can do in a medical relationship. Your doctor can only work with what you tell them. For the third one, I'll be honest with you. When I first started bringing this up, people didn't believe me. Because the two supplements I'm about to talk about are about as natural as it gets: garlic and turmeric. Grace, these have been used for thousands of years. I hear that every time. And you're right. As food, they're wonderful. As concentrated capsule extracts, taken daily at therapeutic doses, the picture changes. Garlic supplements and turmeric, particularly high-dose curcumin extracts, both carry significant blood-thinning properties. On their own, that might not be the issue. But a large portion of the people taking these supplements are also on aspirin, warfarin, rivaroxaban, or clopidogrel. When you combine them, the blood-thinning effect compounds. The risk of internal bleeding near the kidney rises. And in documented cases, that bleeding has caused permanent kidney damage. Turmeric adds another layer specific to kidney disease. It contributes to oxalate load, the same mechanism we just talked about with vitamin C. For someone with reduced kidney clearance, two sources of oxalate accumulation at once is a serious concern. Here's the question I want you to sit with. If you're currently taking garlic capsules or turmeric supplements, does your doctor know? Most people haven't mentioned it, because it didn't feel like something worth mentioning. It's just turmeric, it's from a plant. That thinking sometimes carries a very high price. Now we're at the fourth supplement, and I want you to really stay with me here. Because this is the one most people hear about and immediately say, that warning isn't for me. Protein powder and whey protein. I know. Some of you watching this aren't taking protein powder, but someone close to you probably is. A grandchild, a son or daughter, a neighbor. And sometimes that person says to you, you should take this too, you need to keep your muscle. That advice comes from a good place, but for an older adult with any degree of reduced kidney function, increasing protein intake can place a chronic burden on kidneys that are already working harder than they used to. Here's the mechanism. When protein is metabolized, the end products, nitrogen waste, must be filtered out through the kidneys. Young, healthy kidneys handle this without effort. Aging kidneys, especially those in the early stages of chronic kidney disease, begin to struggle with the load. And this is the critical part. Early-stage chronic kidney disease has no symptoms. Nothing hurts, nothing feels off. But years of high protein intake can accelerate its progression. What does that mean practically? Even if your last kidney test came back fine, high-dose protein powder without medical guidance is not something I'd encourage anyone over 60 to take independently. Your daily protein needs should be calculated based on your body weight and your current kidney function. That calculation belongs with a registered dietitian or a nephrology team, not on the back of a supplement tub. And now we're at the fifth supplement. This one concerns me the most. Because it's the one that sounds the most innocent, the one marketed as the most healing. Herbal detox teas. They're in pharmacies, supermarkets, online shops, everywhere. Cleanses the kidneys, flushes toxins, purifies the body, and people believe it because it makes intuitive sense. If my kidneys filter waste, then a tea that helps them filter must be good. But when you look inside the actual ingredients, something serious emerges. Some herbal teas contain aristolochic acid. This compound directly destroys kidney tissue. The damage is irreversible, and it has been causally linked to thousands of kidney failure cases worldwide. in China, Belgium, Turkey, across Europe and Asia. Many countries have banned it. But not all product labels disclose it clearly, and not all suppliers test for it. Even teas without aristolactic acid can cause harm in this group. Horsetail, St. John's wort, licorice root, echinacea, these can all interact with kidney medications, alter blood pressure control, slow drug clearance, or change blood flow to the kidney. And the word detox is not a medical term. Your kidneys are your detox system. They do it every hour, every day, without stopping. A tea cannot improve that process, but it can interfere with it. If you are currently drinking any herbal supplement tea, I would genuinely ask you to do one thing: read the ingredient list. Actually read it, and bring it to your next appointment. That single act has prevented real kidney damage in people I've worked with. Let's take a breath here, because I've just walked you through 5 things that can harm you, and I don't want to leave you with only that weight. So let me answer the question that should be in your head right now. What is safe? For older adults with reasonable kidney function, omega-3 fatty acids are among the most consistently supported supplements in nephrology literature, particularly for those with elevated triglycerides or those on kidney protective treatment. Dosing matters here too. Fish oil-based formulas in the range of 2 to 3 grams daily are what the evidence supports. B vitamins are largely well tolerated, but B6 is one to watch. At doses above 100 milligrams daily, B6 can cause nerve damage and place strain on kidney clearance. B12 and folate at standard doses are generally fine, but how much still matters. Magnesium is frequently deficient in older adults with diabetes or hypertension, and targeted supplementation has real value. But for anyone with weakened kidney function, high-dose magnesium can accumulate. The kidney can't excrete excess magnesium efficiently. That buildup is dangerous. Vitamin D3 is genuinely under-replaced in this age group, and the evidence for supplementation is solid. But kidney disease changes how vitamin D is metabolized, which means the dose must be determined by a doctor, not a label. Even in this safer list, you saw it. Safe doesn't mean safe at any dose. Every supplement has a window. Outside that window, even the good ones can cause harm. Now I want to ask you the most important question of this whole video. Do you have a list of every supplement you're currently taking? Most people, when they go to the doctor, mention their medications, but they don't mention their supplements. These aren't real medicine, they think. I don't need to bring those up. But for a nephrologist or any doctor managing your kidney health, those 2 lists carry equal weight. Here is what I want you to do. Take a piece of paper, write down every supplement you take, the dose, and how long you've been taking it. Bring that paper to your next appointment. That's it. That's the action. Your doctor won't say, "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" They'll be grateful. Because that list changes how they read your lab results, how they interpret your numbers, and sometimes how they catch something that would otherwise stay hidden. I want to close with something that's been sitting with me as I put this video together. You're here because you care about your health or about someone you love. And that matters more than most people realize. Because kidney damage is silent. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't wake you up at night. It moves in the background, slowly, for years. But it can be prevented. And prevention starts with knowing what we just covered today. If someone in your life is taking any of these 5 supplements right now, a parent, a spouse, a close friend, share this video with them before you close it. Not because of the algorithm, because you might genuinely change the outcome of their next kidney test. That's worth more than a like. I'm Grace Wells. I'll see you in the next one.